more of an individual.
Continue campaigning for the party as well?
Well, I will. I'm campaigning. I'm campaigning in my own area.
Mr. Magashule, the president of the ANC was here over the weekend. As the suspended SG, do you and him have any sort of engagement knowing that you are in your province?
What do I have?
Did the president of the ANC make a courtesy call to you over the weekend whilst you were here?
No. Why should he do that? No.
How are you feeling with the ANC campaign as it's going at this point in time? Do you think it's good? It's the first time that the ANC goes to an election without the engine of the organization at the helm, making sure that the engine is fully revving and rearing to go.
Well, I'm sure you are journalists. You make your own analysis and your own conclusions.
How do you feel about Mxolisi Tukwana having to go in power again? That's one of your strongest allies we know about. He's now back as an MEC, but we also continue to see that you have some of those who are closely, such as Patrick Konyana. How's that going, Mr. SG?
You're talking about who?
Mxolisi having to be back in power.
What back in power?
As an MEC.
Oh, well, it's not my matter. I can't comment on it. I'm sure there is somebody challenging that in the court of law, because you can't jump people who are on the list.
Mr. Magashule, back to this case here, the asbestos matter. You've been long saying that justice delayed is justice denied. How do you feel about how this matter has been going? Do you still maintain it's a political conspiracy?
Well, when I listen to the media, television, interviews, I hear people saying there are 70 charges against me. Which are those charges? You are a journalist. Just tell me about one charge.
Money laundering and corruption is one of the on the charge sheets. Money laundering.
Come again?
Money laundering and corruption. Have you not been served with the charge sheet, sir?
I'm sure you should be reading the indictment yourselves. What are the charges against me?
The IPC claims to be strengthening and uniting the ANC in the Free States. Do you think that's something that's a true fact?
Well, you are there to sit, analyze. I can take you to branches of the ANC. I'm still an active member of the ANC. I belong to a branch. My branch is active, solid, united. We are ready for anything.
Mr. Magashule, how did the meeting with the former President Jacob Zuma go in Isibaya after the press service that you had?
No, I was not in any meeting at Isibaya, so I won't know anything.
Mr. Magashule, there was a meeting, and in that particular meeting, I'm told by a little birdie that you raised the issue of the succession of KZN and about Sikhe Zigalala if your core in that province is going to keep him as the provincial chair.
I was not in any meeting. I don't discuss leadership. Leadership is only discussed by branches of the ANC,
so
the basic unit.
You're not plotting 2022?
Me. The branches must decide. If you don't stand up and say, me, I'm available. No. Politics of the ANC doesn't work that way.
Is the reaction still the same on the matter of Oscar Mabuyane, the Eastern Cape Premier?
What do I say about him?
Is your reaction still the same? Your stance as to there should be accountability taken against him?
What is my stance?
Is your stance still the same?
Of what?
Against the Premier, that there should be accountability taken against him?
Well, whatever I've said in the past, I'm saying anybody. We are all equal before the law. We must be treated the same by state organs.
Do you feel the state organs are treating you unfairly in this particular matter, the asbestos case matter?
Well, let's see. Let's see. I want to be in the box. I want to be in the box so that South Africans should know what is happening in this country.
You claim the FBI is after you. That's a very serious allegation. Is that still what
have I ever claimed that FBI is after me?
Yes.
I've said FBI. Just give me a chance so that I actually talk about these things in a court of law.
Mr. Magashule, former President Jacob Zuma in the press conference last week spoke about the of the ANC. Did you think that as a former president giving an instruction to those whom he's aligned with to start preparing the ground in order to contest and remove the incumbent leadership in 2022, in line with your 5-year statement you made in Moses Mabhida?
I just love President Jacob Zuma because he's a tried and tested leader of the African National Congress, a leader who emerged out of struggle. leaders who have not been propped up by any media. A leader of the people, the president, as one reverend said, or apostle, the product of our struggle, the leader of the people. So I was highly impressed by what President Zuma is saying. Despite what is actually taking place, President Zuma says to all of us, remain loyal members of the African National Congress. Don't allow anybody to come into your house and want to take over your house. The ANC is the people's organization, and we all belong to this movement. It is our movement.
You are being accused of pushing independence with Vusi Shabalala, who's the suspended chief whip of the ANC.
Vusi Shabalala is not an independent. Vusi Shabalala is not the councillor.
Well, he is part of the MAP 16 in Kwakwa, Mr. Magashule. He's pushing independent civic organization, which is taking away numbers from the ANC in that region.
What is that? You see, you are picking up things from the streets. What is factual about it? Factional politics again, because Vusi Shabalala is one of those entrenched leaders on the ground of the ANC.
Do you believe that the current leadership of the ANC has sold out, which is something former President Zuma said along those lines when he addressed the press service?
Well, have you analyzed President Zuma's statement? What he said? If you conclude that he's saying there are sellouts in this organization, that's your analysis.
What is your analysis?
I have said I've welcomed what President Zuma has said, because it is actually agitating and inspiring members of the ANC not to go anywhere but remain in this organization.
Thank you very much, Mr. Magashule.
That's the suspended Secretary General of the African National Congress, Ace Magashule, as he prepares to appear in the Bloemfontein High Court this morning alongside his co-accused, 9 people in total, including 5 companies. And they're accused of a number of charges. You've heard his comment that it is said that there's about 70 charges, and that is indeed what the law enforcement has been saying. And included among those charges are those of corruption, money laundering, and it's all related to that 225 million rand asbestos contract in the Free State. At the time, Ace Magashule was the premier of the Free State province, as opposed to the position he holds now in the ANC, well, if you like, where he is suspended right now. So he's sounding very confident, and we shall see what is going to be said in court. Just to take you to Bloemfontein, outside the court for the moment.
Letolapule region in around Virginia and Belgium. How would you characterize the era of the ANC in government and yourself when you look at the deplorable state of service delivery in ANC municipalities across the country?
I was premier for 10 years. Have you ever heard the community of the Free State complaining during our term? Have you ever? Why don't you tour with me the Free State and we show you what we have done for these people of this province?
Let me put it to you, Mr. Magashule, that we've got a service delivery gauge show that goes on. I want you to take me to the asbestos case. I want you to take me to other municipalities where there are still the
read the indictment about asbestos. Asbestos in Gauteng, asbestos in Northern Cape. Read the indictment about the asbestos. What was the issue and the case about asbestos? Please read. Don't make me read for you. The indictment is there, it's public. There was no such thing as a removal of asbestos. Read the indictment. And I was not involved in the asbestos. I don't know why I am in this case, and I will prove. I don't know anything about this thing.
So you are saying to us, Mr. Magashule, that your 10 years as Premier of this province was wonderful, your service delivery all over this particular province.
As the people of this province, they will tell you better.
What about in Tabazo, Mr. Magashule, whereby there's a stadium and other facilities like a taxi rank that is standing there as a white elephant? Community members say they weren't consulted. What about...
I'm not a councillor. I'm not a councillor. I'm not in charge of the province. Please ask the people who are responsible for government in this province.
Magashule is embarking on a recovery financial plan due to corruption and maladministration.
Why don't you ask Mangaung? Olim Lamleli has never been charged of any corruption.
But as Premier, oversight was your responsibility, Mr. Magashule.
Olim Lamleli was never charged of corruption in Mangaung.
But
why do you blame people for things they have not done?
Oversight, Mr. Magashule, as the head of the department, as the head of the province at the time, the buck stopped with you, didn't it?
I'm saying go and see what we did during our term. Don't mix our term with local government. Go and look at our term. We were the best team, the best ANC. Because it was not about me, it was about the ANC. And we have done our best, which people claim today.